Hey, it's Irreverent Aegis here, and in this video I'm going to very toxically walk you through how to get an achievement that doesn't even exist, the Trifecta in Bloodroot Forge. You see, there's challenger achievements here, meaning you can get the hard mode, the speedrun, and the no-death to get a really ugly, stupid mask that nobody would ever use, but there's no actual achievement for getting all three at once. So, one of our friends in the group wanted to get this mask, so we said, you know what, we're just going to go knock it out in one go. So, here we go. As you might have seen, we messed up drastically in the beginning. Normally you can skip the first two ad pulls, but we aggroed them, and then we pulled them all to this first boss, so strike one. Normally we killed this boss in about, 30 seconds. He has 3 million health. And we actually pulled all the ads to us, so it took way longer. Someone used a barrier for some reason instead of a real ultimate. And this fight took actually 32 seconds instead of 30 seconds, so we kind of really majorly messed this one up. I don't know how we're going to get this whole dungeon under 20 minutes now. While I was sitting around the other day thinking, man, what should I upload to my YouTube channel next? I thought, you know, maybe I'll just put up some very low quality content like some other YouTubers do. Post a trifecta of me and my group doing something, call it a guide, but not actually explain anything. And then I thought, you know what, that'll be really quick, so that's actually what I'm going to do here. I guess it's better than posting, you know, another solo build and saying, God Mode Dragon Knight takes on the world, and I'm just like, you know what, there's no such thing as a God Mode solo build. If you bring a solo build into a 4-man content, you should get kicked. So I'll see you on Reddit every third post. Alright, this boss, here's what we're going to do. We're going to kill the boss before any mechanics happen. So I'm going to run in, and I'm going to poke the boss. And then as soon as the trees come up around us, and my entire group is going to drop the ults, you'll notice that this boss also had 3 million health. And we needed to make up those 2 seconds on the first boss that we lost, so what we're going to do is we're actually going to kill Kaloif, or whatever her name is, in 28 seconds to make up for it, because man, do we need to make up some time to get this speed run down. So, anyway, we dropped all the ults. I'm going to go on taunting everything, and pretty much that's it, and you can see this fight is a joke, and it's over. Now, keep in mind, we just murdered that boss, and we actually do have a healer in our group. We're not running 3 DPS. We're running 2 DPS, a tank, and a healer. So if you're one of those groups that likes to bring 3 DPS because you can kill things faster, but you don't actually kill things faster, and you're one of those people that used to wear Ring of the Pale Order before, thank God, it got nerfed for dungeons, then man, get good, scrub. Speaking of bad DPS, if you go on Reddit, you're typically going to come across 2 different types of posts that will make up about 90% of the ESO discussions. The first is bad DPS complaining about fake tanks in normal dungeons, and the second is tanks complaining about bad DPS in veteran dungeons. Of course, both groups are completely right, because the best way to solve anything in the real world is to complain on the internet and make a company like Zoss that already doesn't care about their player base and fixing problems. They're totally going to listen to you when you complain on Reddit. So as far as mechanics on the third boss here, my advice is to kill it before it has the chance to kill any of you. If you do that, then you'll win, and you'll maintain your no-death. Now back to the topic of tanks complaining about bad DPS when they solo queue for a random vet dungeon. First of all, if you're complaining about this, you are not taking any personal responsibility for your poor decisions in life. Either don't queue up, or view it as a challenge. Of course you're going to get terrible DPS when you solo queue as a tank. Bring some DPS sets, learn how to DPS, and see just how big of a backpack you can have. View it as a personal challenge. What's the hardest content that you can hard carry 3 people through as a tank? So, why don't you just, again, GGS, get good, scrub, stop complaining on Reddit, and just do your job and everybody else's job, because it's way more fun that way when you be like, man, I just hard carried 3 people through Moonhunter Keep on Vet as a tank, and they were awful. That's the real endgame. Speaking of a good challenge, how about that achievement on Vet Bloodroot Forge where you don't touch the lava? I've actually gotten that on 3 different tunes, but as you can see right here, nope, just fell right in. Almost died, actually, and killed our trifecta, and then I fell in again, couldn't jump up, and then I fell in again. So, lava, that's the real hard mode. This 4th boss here, Galchabar, is pretty much the wet noodle relative of Kinrust Iron Eye out of Black Drake Villa. Pretty much they do kind of the same stuff, but Galchabar doesn't really hit very hard compared to Kinrust. The only real mechanic here is you do need to block that lava geyser, of course, but that's pretty much all you need to do, and then when he goes invulnerable, you're ready to be outside and jump out. But wait, there's more. Don't jump back too early, because on Vet, the fire stays for a few seconds. Now I'm going to speed up the rest of this fight, because again, nothing happens, and just kill the boss, okay? So we'll have one final test of our skill here, and that is, of course, jumping over the rest of the lava without dying, because what do you do when you jump in the lava and it's about to kill you? You say, "Not today, lava." Now the next thing that I have to talk about here is this Minotaur on this boss number 5. He used to dance. He was glitched out and he would dance, and it was cool. And of all the things that ZOS actually fixed in this game, they chose to fix the cool dancing Minotaur that had no effect on anything. Instead of, I don't know, fixing light attack leaving quickly, the craft bag, guild traders, the glitch in Lyco Tower, the skybox or the broken Fusherdot Moongrave Fane, the list goes on and on. But they chose to fix the dancing Minotaur. Okay, ZOS, whatever. But I digress, back to the task at hand, which is barely explaining the mechanics. As the tank, you're going to taunt things, and as the DPS and healer, you're going to do your best not to die. And if you can do that, in addition to, I don't know, 100k DPS per DPS, then you'll probably get the Trifecta here, which again doesn't exist, and you're only getting it because you were bored. While we finish off the Attendant of Blood here, I will move on to barely explaining the mechanics of the final boss hard mode here. And by hard mode, I mean the thing that happens after you read the scroll, not the thing where you need to jump over all the lava and not touch it on men. The Earthgore Amalgam here, after activating hard mode, has 9.8 million health, and at 2 different percentages, he is going to lock and spawn other Earthgore Amalgams, so you'll get 2 minis. And when I say minis, I do mean they're mini, because the first one that he spawns is smaller than he is, and the second one that he spawns is super cute and adorable and really mini, because it's really small. Now, a good guide to this hard mode is going to teach you about positioning as the tank, how to position each of the bosses and the minis so that they send their lava geysers all the way to the outside. It's going to tell you how to kite around the outside circle of the arena, again, to minimize the effect the lava geysers are going to have. It's going to teach you about the heavy attacks that you need to block. It's going to teach you about what to do when the boss goes invulnerable and how to best avoid overlapping or having big chunks of the ceiling fall on your face. I'm not going to do any of that. All I'm going to tell you is, as the tank, you should taunt things, and as the DPS, you should kill things, and you should kill them quickly, so again, you can minimize the effects of all of the other mechanics. A good guide will also probably tell you about the kill order, how you should kill that last mini first, and then kill the big one, and then kill the middle one. But sometimes it doesn't work out that way. Sometimes you just kill the first one first because the mini might be invulnerable. We killed him pretty much at the same time there. The only thing that's holding us back from killing this guy quickly is he's going to go invulnerable again before we have the chance to kill him. So I know what you should tell us. You should be like, hey dudes, GGS, maybe you should have killed him faster this time, we wouldn't have gone invulnerable. And you're right, that's a fair assessment. Maybe next time we'll bring 3 DPS, maybe 4 DPS, and we'll all wear Ring of the Pale Order, except that doesn't exist anymore. Now I do want to point out that the 4 DPS strategy is actually viable here on this hard mode, because I did it. I had 18,000 health, and I tanked it, and there's a YouTube video on here doing it in hard mode. Unfortunately, I died once, so it's not my best YouTube video, but we did do it again with a better group of DPS, and I did it without dying at all, but I didn't get a video, unfortunately. So anyway, there you go. We got 200,000 health to go, he's gonna die, and there's the Trifecta. That doesn't exist, so you will not see any achievements pop up on my screen.